right, so here we are. It is time for another children's worship experience with Stuttgart Harvest Church. And don't forget, this was let's see, we've got two more after this one, so we've got three, including tonight, for the remainder of July. But then when we get to August the 2nd, we are going to be meeting live together at Stuttgart Harvest Church with all of our children programming, and we'll be doing that at 10:30 on Sunday morning, August the 2nd. So if you or your family have not been attending Stuttgart Harvest Church in person due to the fact that we just didn't have live children's programming available, that changes August the 2nd, 10:30, and we're going to be getting back together with all of our kiddos then. We will definitely have some policies and procedures in place to make sure that we are following the guidelines and directives handed to us due to COVID-19, but we are excited to be meeting together. Of course, we're meeting together in the worship theater, in the adult worship theater already, but those kiddos will be coming back together with us on August the 2nd, 10:30. But until then, we've got 3 more weeks that we're going to be spending time together online. So you're going to watch us from your living room or bedroom or bathroom, I don't know, wherever you happen to be watching us from. And we're going to have a good time. We're going to get started tonight with our First Look kiddos. We've been doing 252 first. We're going to start with First Look tonight. That is, of course, our preschool aged up to about 5 years old, or at that kindergarten age. We've got a really interesting story tonight for our First Look. It also happens to be the same story that our 252 kids are going to be learning about here in just a few minutes. But it's all about a man named Paul and a trip that he made to a city called Athens. But before we do that, we of course are in this series, and it's called I Spy. So I'm actually going to throw that up there. And of course our topic is I Spy, and we've got a great Bible verse, John chapter 20 verse 31. These are written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, which then is our bottom line. I can believe in Jesus. Say that together with us. I can believe in Jesus. And so let's play a little quick game of I Spy right now. If you're watching us at home, can you spy something that happens to be the color red? You see it? Look around the room. Do you see something the color red? There you go. I love the game I Spy. And Paul, when he went to the Greek city of Athens, he spied a lot of things. He spied a really big town, a lot of people, and he spied some interesting looking monuments or statues. There was a lot of them. And Paul took that opportunity to tell all of the people who lived in the city of Athens about the real God and about what he did, all the things that he created, and it eventually let him tell the people of Athens about Jesus. And so we're going to go ahead, we're going to watch this story together, and then we'll come back together and talk a little bit more. But go ahead right now, and let's watch this real, true story from the New Covenant about Paul and his trip to the city of Athens.
Just follow me through. Hoo, hoo.
Follow me through, follow me through. I've got a Bible story for me and you.
Well, hello everyone! I'm Aisha and welcome to my cupcake food truck. Check out today's special. Ta-da! I made I Spy cupcakes in honor of the game we're playing. I can't wait to tell you today's true story from the Bible. It is so good! If you're ready for a story, on the count of 3, yell, "Tell me a story." 1, 2, 3. Tell me a story! Our story is about a man named Paul. Paul believed in Jesus. He told everyone that Jesus is alive and wants to be their friend forever. One day, Paul went to a city called Athens. The people in Athens worshiped statues made of stone instead of believing in Jesus. Do you see a city? Help me look for it. I spy with my little eye a city! Paul looked around at all of the statues and he told the people, "Hey, you have a lot of statues, but you're missing something. You're not worshiping the one true God, the God who made everything." The people wanted Paul to tell them more, so he did. He told them how God made the whole world and everything in it. Do you see the world God made? Look with me. I spy with my little eye the world! God made the world and everything in it, Paul said. He made the sky, water, moon, stars, sun, trees, flowers, birds, fish, animals. God made all of it. The people were amazed and wanted Paul to tell them more. So he did. Next, Paul told them how God made people. He told them how God made all people to know him. Do you see people? Look with me. I spy with my little eye. People! The people still wanted Paul to tell them more. So he did. Next, Paul told the people about Jesus. He told them that Jesus is God's son. Jesus is alive and wants to be their friend forever. When Paul was finished talking, some of the people believed in Jesus. It was amazing. The good news is everyone can believe in Jesus. That means you can believe in Jesus too. Did you like the story? If you did, give it 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Hey there, Ollie. Tell me, who can believe in Jesus?
I can believe in Jesus. Yes, it's true. Now let's hear it from you. Tell me, who can believe in Jesus?
I can believe in Jesus. That's the truth, friends. You better believe it. See you next time. Bye.
Paul spied people, and because of that, he got to tell them all about Jesus. So that gets us back to our bottom line for this week, which is I can believe in Jesus. So if you're watching us right now, our first look kiddos, say that with me. I can believe in Jesus. And Paul believed that, and Paul was able to tell all of the people that lived in Athens about that, and you can do the very same thing. What a great story. First look, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget you have that small group information that you picked up yesterday, or if you requested a digital copy from me, then go ahead, families, grab that and take about the next 10 or 15 minutes to work together in that small group environment as a family, and you can keep on reinforcing that idea that I can believe in Jesus. Now, for 252, give us about 30 seconds and we'll be back and we will talk a little bit more about Paul and his experience when he went to the Greek city of Athens. Focus. Take a closer look. Now, what are we focusing on for the month of July? Of course, we're focusing on our Life app, which is faith. Trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see. Trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see. Hey guys, it's great to see you. Don't forget, only for 3 more weeks will we be meeting this way. We're going to get back together with children's programming live at Stuttgart Harvest Church on Sunday, August the 2nd at 10:30. But until then, we're going to keep talking about our Life app of faith just like this. So you get to do it online. And of course, faith is a really cool thing. And we don't have to have faith just because of something somebody told us. We can have faith because of things that actually happen. We've got a real, true, bunch of true stories that really happened, and because they happened, I can believe that Jesus really is who he said he was. You say, I don't believe that. I don't know if I can believe that. Do you believe that George Washington really existed, and that he really was the president, and that he really did all of those things? Most of us do. Why? Did you ever meet him? No. Did you ever get to talk to him? No. But you read all about him because of the people that did get to talk to him and did get to know him and did spend time with him. They wrote it down and they told us about it. And that's what we have in the New Covenant. We have a lot of first-hand stories of people that actually met and walked and talked and ate and laughed with Jesus. And because of that, faith isn't something that we have to have just because Somebody told us. It's because people like Matthew and Mark and Luke and John and Peter and Paul wrote about it. They saw it happen and they wrote it all down. A first-hand primary source account. So one more time, our life app, faith, trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see. And our Bible verse comes from the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 8, where Paul said to the followers of Jesus in the city of Ephesus, "For it is by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God." And we have got a really cool story tonight that we're going to talk about. And it's about a trip that Paul made to the Greek city-state of Athens. Athens was a really big town, one of the biggest in the world at that time. And when Paul got to Athens, he saw a lot of Athens worshipped all of those statues. And Paul
My
took that
father's
opportunity
faith
to talk to
caused
the
us
people
not
in
to-
the city of Athens and say, hey, I can tell you about a real God who really exists, who created everything. He created the entire world, the birds, the grass, the plants, the animals. He even created people. And through that conversation, Paul was also able to introduce the people of the city of Athens to Jesus. This is a really good story, and we're going to go ahead right now. We're going to throw that up there, so sit back and watch this real, true story about the time that a real man by the name of Paul visited a real city called Athens and told those people about Jesus.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Acts, chapter 17, verses 16 through 34.
Wherever Paul went, he boldly preached the good news of Jesus.
This Jesus I'm telling you about is the Messiah.
Many Jews and Greeks believed in Jesus, but in nearly every town, a group of Jews would gather to oppose Paul. He and his companions were forced out of Thessalonica, and then later that same group of Jews followed to run Paul out of Berea. Eventually, the believers helped Paul escape to the coast, where he could travel by boat to Athens.
Tell Silas and Timothy to join me as soon as they can.
Once Paul reached Athens, he walked the streets of the ancient city, disturbed by what he saw. Carved and molded statues everywhere.
Statues of their gods. The people really believe false gods can help them.
In fact, the Athenians believed in around 30,000 false gods. Yeah, they believed these gods were in charge of everything from sports to sleep to doors and cleanliness.
A god of grapes. Okay.
While Paul waited for his friends, he visited the Jewish synagogue to tell Jews and Greeks alike about Jesus. And in the marketplace, he spoke to anybody who would listen.
You have to hear about Jesus. He was killed, but he came back to life.
Paul's words stirred up a group of Athenian thinkers. These men felt that they could achieve perfection through knowledge and wisdom.
Can you explain what this fellow is chattering about?
He seems to be telling us about gods we've never heard of.
We shall take this Paul to a meeting of the Areopagus. There, we shall reason it out.
Set high on an outcropping of rock, the Areopagus was the high court of Athens. And from this viewpoint, Paul could see all of Athens spread out below him. Closer at hand, the gathered Epicureans and Stoics studied Paul.
What is this new teaching you're giving us?
You have some strange ideas we've never heard before.
We would like to know what they mean.
Paul took a deep breath. These people treated new ideas like playthings, so he wanted to connect the story of Jesus with something they already knew.
People of Athens, I see that you are very religious in every way.
We are aware of this. Please proceed.
Paul recalled a small carved altar he had discovered while exploring the city.
As I walked around, I looked carefully at the things you worship. I even found an altar with "To an Unknown God" written on it. Now, I'm going to tell you about this unknown God.
Paul explained to them that the true God created the entire world and everything in it. He created each individual person with a purpose and an adventure to live.
He did it so that people would seek him and find him, even though he is not far from any of us.
Preposterous.
Continue.
Paul knew that these Athenians might listen to the words of their own writers that might actually reflect something of who God is.
In him we live and move and exist. As some of your own poets have also said, we are his children.
What an interesting point.
Paul told them that people are God's children. God is alive and real, not some carved statue or molded from gold. And now by sending Jesus, God was telling everyone everywhere to turn away from the bad things they've done and to follow him.
God has proved this to everyone by raising Jesus from the dead.
Preposterous.
Fascinating.
More like fantasy. Get this joker out of here.
No. This is new, fresh. We will hear you speak about this again sometime.
A man called Dionysius had been among the crowd at the Areopagus. He hurried to catch up as Paul left.
I want to know more about this living God. About Jesus.
I can help you, friend.
So Paul continued to spread the good news and love of Jesus, and after a short time, Dionysius became a follower of Jesus, as well as a woman named Damaris, and several others.
Paul was able to tell other people about Jesus. He was able to share what he believed because of the things that he had seen. He was able to share them with the people who lived in that city called Athens, which was in a totally different country across the kind of a big sea to get there. Which leads us really to our bottom line, because those people who were in Athens, they had never heard of Jesus. They had no idea what Paul was talking about. In fact, they worshiped lots of gods. They had never really understood the idea that one real God created everything. And so that leads us to our bottom line, because like Paul, you can help others know Jesus. You can help others know Jesus. People that, well, maybe they don't know who Jesus is. Maybe they really don't understand everything like you do. You can help others know Jesus. Maybe they don't have that same amount of faith that you have. Remember faith, trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see? Your friends and the people in your life who maybe don't completely understand that, you can help others know Jesus. That's what Paul did. He went to Athens and he told them all about God and Jesus and how all of that stuff happened and all of the things that he had experienced. And we can do the same thing here in 2020. So thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this. Remember, we have 2 more weeks where we're going to be online, and then August the 2nd, we'll be back together with children's programming. So parents, let's get the kiddos back together as soon as you feel safe and as soon as you feel comfortable making that happen. Now, right now, if you received a kid pack and you have that small group information, or if you received a digital copy from me, now's the time. Families get together, spend some time, about maybe 10 minutes or so together, and work on that small group information, and we will see you, hopefully, on Sunday morning at 10:30 at Stuttgart Harvest Church, and then the following Monday night, 7 o'clock, for 252 and for First Look. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a great week.